Hello and good morning to you all.
Morning,
Good
Nolan.
morning. Thanks
My
for having
goodness.
us.
So first of all, let's start with you, Oliver. That piece that we just heard, the Brahms. Maybe give us a bit of an explanation for what we just were listening to.
Yeah, so that one is it's a dialogue between two characters, a man and a woman, and the man says, "Hello, I've come to tell you I love you. Will you please let me inside?" And she says, "No, I will not." He says, "But it's very cold outside, and if you don't let me in, then my love will be extinguished." And she goes, "If your love dies, let it die, and if you're cold, maybe you should go home and go to bed."
I think very apt advice for us here in the city of Winnipeg this morning with all of the wind chill values.
Exactly.
Very well chosen. What was it like hearing your name called out as the winner yesterday, Oliver?
I didn't really. I mean, I went into this with zero expectations, and I think it's still kind of setting in a bit. Honestly, I'm incredibly grateful. I'm thrilled, but it's a lot, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Jayden, what about for you? When you were announced as one of the winners as well, what's that moment like for you?
It's really exciting because speaking for myself, and I'm sure Oliver can attest to this too, us undergrads put a lot of work into preparing for this competition, picking up repertoire months ahead of time, talking with our teachers, coaching it, working on interpretation. So it really felt like a huge win to get recognized in that way.
Of course. Now, of course, you all put plenty of work into the pieces that you shared yesterday, but that is multiplied by a factor of I don't even know how many when it comes to our pianist here this morning. Anica, you played for several of the competitors, I understand, in yesterday's competition. What's that like sharing so much German Lieder all in one day?
Well, Jayden actually was the only performer
No kidding.
that I played with, so I have to shout out Henry Kelsey, Megan Dufresne, and Lisa Rumble for their amazing playing for the rest of the competitors. But something that is really special about the Zita Bernstein competition specifically is that it is such a team effort, I think, between pianist and singer.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of additional coachings that are generously offered by Mel Braun and Monica Huesman and Tracy Dahl and Laura Lowen, amongst other teachers who kind of come together and really support each student and each finalist in making their performance as expressive and beautiful and wonderful as it can be. So it feels really, really fun to just have a front stage but not be in the spotlight look, I guess, at what it's like to really prepare. And there is so much work that each singer puts in, and you can see that. I think yesterday you saw that there was a lot of heart that went into performances. You could see it.
Absolutely. And a big sense of camaraderie, I think, between the performers as well as they cheer each other on and watch each other share music from this tradition. Oliver, maybe this is putting you on the spot a little bit, but when you're watching Jayden, what do you admire in what Jayden brings as a leader performer, as an example?
I mean, I didn't get a chance to see Jayden yesterday.
Oh, everybody's sitting
but I saw him
backstage, of course.
just right now when we were singing, and I think he's got this incredible confidence and ease, and it really just looks like this was what you were born to do, and you love it so much.
It's really kind.
Well, Jayden, you just saw Oliver perform as well. What do you take away from watching Oliver perform music from the Lieder tradition?
I would have to echo the same sentiments. There's just this beautiful world of colors that you're able to access in your voice, and I can't wait to see how they grow, and yeah, it's you've got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it about German Lieder in general that is attractive to you as a genre, Jayden? What draws you into this musical tradition?
There's such a beauty of the language is a great place that I like to start, where a lot of the words sound and feel the way that they are, like küssen, which is like kissing, feels like you make the shape of a kiss, right? So there's that really beautiful actual physical storytelling, and then of course all of the rich poetry and music writing that came from these composers like Schubert and Mahler, Gustav and Alma, and so just the way that Lieder is a culmination of many different great art forms is really special and definitely attractive when performing repertoire.
Absolutely. Oliver, you're pretty early on in your undergraduate journey, I understand. Maybe it's a little bit too early to predict what this will be, but what do you think what role do you think German Lieder will play in your musical life going forward in your undergraduate degree and perhaps beyond?
I mean, Lieder is becoming, I think, my favorite kind of music to sing, or at least it's up there. And I think to me there's a real earnestness and sort of rawness even to a lot of 19th century German music that I think really appeals to me. I like to, intensity is something that really matters to me in a performance, and I find that in German music specifically, that's something that I am really able to bring, and it's fun.
Wow. So that's, of course, one element, the language and the earnestness that comes from the singers, but of course there's a whole other side to the equation here as well in the piano parts. Anica, what is it about the piano parts in German Lieder specifically that you enjoy sharing with audiences?
Oh, great question. I think harmony is the first thing that comes to mind. There's just so much juice to find in German romantic harmonies specifically. And so, yeah, I can't lie that is, I've always been really drawn to the chords that underpin the melody and the way that composers tend to set the text with like harmonies that you might not expect. I think like the subversion of what you might expect from tonal harmony is really cool in a lot of romantic composers like the Brahms that Oliver sang. There's some surprising moments where you're like, oh, I thought that would be minor, but it's not. And it changes the way that you understand the story. So.
Sure, absolutely. Oliver, there is more opportunity to be workshopping Lieder, I understand, in the next couple of days. Master classes taking place at the University of Manitoba to further explore the genre. What are you hoping to take from that experience of learning more about Lieder?
I mean, like you said, I'm still very early on comparatively in my music journey, I guess. So really every coaching for me is a chance to learn something new, and I'm incredibly excited to be working with Stephen Philcox, who was one of the judges last night, and will be teaching our master class this afternoon, or this evening. And I think every piece of advice I get is something I try to take to heart as much as I can.